Health imbalance can affect all different areas of your health, not just your skin. But what I'm going to do now is start to talk about some of the commonalities that I see between all of my clients who present to me with certain GI tract disturbances and how this relates to your gut health. My name is Kathleen and I'm the owner and lead therapist here at Soul Awaken Skin Therapies, and here in my clinic based in Glenelg, South Australia, I focus on treating the skin condition acne. The whole purpose of this channel is to dive deep into the topic of acne and really explore this topic in more detail so I can provide you with the most information possible so you can heal your skin and just live the best, happiest life possible, because I do know that this skin condition can really take a toll on your mental health. So that's what I'm here to do. So if you love this topic or if you're needing some help, definitely consider subscribing and clicking that little bell icon to get notified whenever I produce a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about gut health and how gut health imbalances can play a major role in aggravating acne. And as we explore this topic in greater detail, you are going to be able to start identifying whether your acne is potentially related to a gut health imbalance. But before we get into today's video, I would like to say hello to all returning clients, followers and subscribers, and of course, welcome if you're new. Please feel welcome to follow me over on Facebook and Instagram. Over on those platforms, I often go on live to talk about topics around acne, and I share so much valuable information about your skin, so definitely go follow me there. And of course, if you do enjoy this video and you do have any questions throughout, please feel welcome to pop your comments down below in the comments section. Exploring this topic, I really want to talk about the gut-skin axis and how gut health imbalances actually relate to the skin. So in case you didn't know, your skin contains a whole heap of different bacteria and microbes which are meant to be there and they're meant to live in harmony. And by now, I'm sure that you've realized that your gut also has its own little community of good and bad bacteria, all playing a central role in keeping you healthy. In most recent years, the literature really is diving further and further into the correlation between acne and gut health imbalances. And what we are finding is an absolute definitive link between inflammatory skin conditions such as psoriasis, acne and eczema, even rosacea, in correlation with gut health disturbances. So in terms of a gut health disturbance or imbalance or dysbiosis, there's a lot of different terms kind of chucked around. You might have one or several different types of conditions. Now you're probably thinking, how do I even know if I have a gut health disturbance? Well, that's a really, really good question, and it does require diagnosis and treatment from the correct health professionals. The best people to help you with this would be either a naturopath, and I will just let you know now, I do have an amazing naturopath that I work alongside in the clinic. She is based in Melbourne, Victoria, so in the other state, but my clients often do book in with her via Zoom so they can actually get a full consultation about their health and they can find out whether they have a gut health imbalance or not. Pia actually provides an amazing holistic digestive intensive course which I have undertaken now twice to educate skin therapists such as myself about the correlation between gut health and skin. So if you haven't checked out her, I would highly recommend it, but I digress. A naturopath is excellent because they'll be able to start running tests and really ask some in-depth questions about your health so you can start to figure out whether you potentially have a gut health imbalance. But also you may want to speak to your doctor, but in specific, I do recommend going to an integrative doctor. Now they have done extra study, and you will find that most integrative doctors are a bit more open-minded about the topic of gut health and skin health being related. I think you'll find that if you do go to just a conventional doctor, and no disrespect to them, but they may not actually delve in as deep. So definitely spend the extra money to see an integrative doctor if you prefer that approach. However, a naturopath such as Pia Kynoch is an excellent solution. So once you have a somewhat of a diagnosis, or at least a bit of an inclination as to what might be going on within your gut, it could be something such as leaky gut, SIBO, which stands for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. You might have a problem with your tight junction. Whatever it is, your health practitioner will be able to help you the most and be able to guide you down this gut healing journey. It really is a journey, just like with your skin. Essentially, your gut health really does correlate not only with your skin, which I'm going to get into a little bit more detail, but it also correlates with many other functions within the body. When there is a gut health imbalance, you'll often find that there are immunity type issues. You might find that there is increased levels of inflammation in the body, or even a histamine overload. You may also have a dysregulation of your hormones, because gut health imbalances can actually affect your hormones in the way they are expressed throughout your body. You may also be very prone to nutrient deficiencies. When your gut and your GI tract is not healthy, you're not able to assimilate and essentially uptake those beautiful nutrients that you're eating. Lastly, a topic that is starting to emerge more and more is that there might be a correlation between your mental health status, so potentially anxiety, depression, and other mental health diagnoses, with a gut health imbalance. We know that there is a gut-skin axis, but there is also a gut-brain axis, and it is being explored more and more in the current literature. And I'm really excited to see how this area of research begins to expand, and we just become so much more empowered with knowledge on this topic. But stay tuned for that. I might do a completely other video on that. Just let me know below. So as you can see, a gut health imbalance can affect all different areas of your health, not just your skin. But what I'm going to do now is start to talk about some of the commonalities that I see between all of my clients who present to me with certain GI tract disturbances and how this relates to your gut health. So your GI tract is your gastrointestinal tract. So that just includes everything from your mouth down through to the rectum. So basically is that entire process from when you're eating, even before you're eating, it's your senses that come into play when you're eating, all the way down as the food goes past through into the stomach, the small intestines, the large intestines, into the rectal passage and on its way out. That is what your gastrointestinal or GI tract is. Now, your gut health status is really dependent on the functionality and the motility of this entire system. And this entire system will tend to display certain symptoms when there is a bit of an imbalance. So here is a list of some of the common symptoms that you may experience if you have a gut health imbalance or GI tract disturbance, whatever you want to call it. These are some of the symptoms. We're going to start from the top, and we're going to be talking more about your oral cavity, because like I said, it all starts in the mouth. So first of all, you might notice that you have a foul smelling breath. Maybe you're getting increased amount of cavities. Maybe your teeth are rotting, or even a bit of gingivitis. All sorts of oral disturbances are absolutely related to your gut health. So that's a first sign. As we go further down, you might start to experience a little bit of indigestion. So you know, that heartburn type feeling, or even a lot of burping as well. That can be a symptom due to different gases being produced from your GI tract lower down. You might notice that whenever you eat food, you get an intense amount of bloating. You might even get abdominal pain, and you might even notice that you get a lot of flatulence as well. You really want to start to pay attention to your stools, so your number twos, and you really want to understand what a good healthy stool looks like. I'm going to pop onto the screen the bristle stool chart just so you can have a little bit of a reference. But essentially, if you are not pooping in a healthy way, perhaps you are very constipated and you only go every couple of days, or even at worst once every couple of weeks. And I'm going to put my hand up and say, that was me at one stage. My gut health has always been something that I've suffered with, and I am much better now, but I am on a journey. And I will tell you a little bit more about some of the symptoms that I experienced that really was an indicator that I had a gut health imbalance. But essentially, you could be on the end of constipation, or you could be right on the other end of the spectrum where you're getting a lot of diarrhea. But you may also have a combination, and that is really normal as well. You may notice that you have a very low appetite, or you might have an excessive cravings for sugar and usually unhealthy foods. And the reason for this is because the bacteria, or at least the bad bacteria in your gut, loves to feed on sugars. So that is a big giveaway. In terms of how you're feeling, you might, like I said before, be suffering from a mental illness. So a bit of anxiety, sleep disturbances, depression, they are all linked with gut health imbalances. You might feel a lot of lethargy or chronic fatigue. This is really normal as well. Not that it is okay. It's definitely not a normal way of living, but we do see this go hand in hand with a gut health imbalance. Nutrient deficiencies are really common. Like I said before, your GI tract is disturbed, so you might not be assimilating those nutrients as best as your body should be. You may also be experiencing high histamine type symptoms. So what I mean by that is that your histamine levels are overflowing, so you have an abundance of histamine in your body. And the way that this is expressed can be through a real itchy feeling. Maybe you start to get hives, and it generally is an itchy experience. And lastly, you may actually be having other types of inflammatory skin conditions present. So for myself, I have had a long life history of having eczema and dermatitis. So when I was younger, I had perioral dermatitis, so it's dermatitis around the oral area. I then, in my teenage years, had chronic athlete's foot, so that's a fungal infection on your foot. That was so bad and really hard to treat, because everything in my system was so disturbed and not in balance that it was internally mediated. Everything I was doing topical just wasn't working. That passed, and then I had I had about at least 5 years of inflamed arms, all up my arms, on my hands, all the way up here, of dermatitis. So all of these different types of inflammatory skin conditions may be present when there is a gut health imbalance. So if you are listening to this video and you're going, yep, tick, 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 I have a majority of these symptoms, it is definitely something that I would suggest consider looking into, just to make sure that everything is okay for you. And if it isn't, that's totally fine. Gut health imbalances are they're not difficult to treat, but they're not super easy as well. But if you at least start the journey now, you are going to live a longer, healthier life, because at the end of the day, you really don't want to be living with disharmony or dis-ease within the body, because that dis-ease and inflammation that is present can lead on to other things. So you really want to nip it in the bud, especially if you're in your 20s. And I'm so glad that I started on this journey, because a lot of things to do with gut health aren't just related to nutrition, but it is related to lifestyle and a lot of just different bits and pieces. Let me know if you want another video on that. I'd be very happy to share my experience and what's worked for me. So you're probably wondering, what is the difference between acne, how it presents normally, and how it presents when there is a gut health imbalance? Now, there isn't a definitive answer, so what I'm going to be sharing you with is simple observation and speculation, just what I've seen here in the clinic, because I haven't yet found a scientific paper that really says this is how gut health imbalances express in the skin via acne vulgaris. I've not found it yet, but I have observed that there is some pretty clear differences. The first thing that I noticed is that the acne is more inflamed, so there is an inflammation component. And remembering, when there is gut health imbalances, there is also inflammation present. And acne is an inflammatory skin disorder, so we'll often see a lot of inflammation. So that might appear as redness or heat in the skin. You may also notice that the acne isn't just in one place. So it might be widespread and it might be a little bit random. So generally speaking, hormonal acne will go around this jawline area, and when it comes to gut related acne, I do tend to find that it's on the forehead and the cheeks and the chin, and sometimes around the jawline as well. I have also noticed that there tends to be more pustules, so by that I mean those yellow headed pussy pimples with a bit of redness around them as well. Another key indicator is that you've noticed your acne doesn't really correlate with your menstrual cycle. Generally, what I tend to see in the clinic is that my clients who have a clear hormonal influence with their acne is they'll tend to see either around ovulation or before the menstrual cycle or during their menstrual cycle, they'll get an excess in pimples. However, for those clients who have a gut health imbalance, they'll notice that there really isn't a correlation with your hormones at all. It's kind of every single day, and it's this constant reoccurring thing. You may also notice an increase in breakouts when there is excess stress. Remember the gut brain axis. You will also notice that there is definitely a correlation between the food that you're eating, because the food that you eat goes through your GI tract and into your gut where all the bacteria is. So you might see a stronger link between food and your breakouts. You may also notice that you have other inflammatory type symptoms, diseases, or conditions within your body. So eczema and dermatitis, that's an inflammation of the body, that's related to inflammation, I should say. So that is an indicator. Maybe you are experiencing some arthritis or some sort of other inflammatory related condition. That is another indicator that your acne is potentially related to your gut health. You're probably wondering now, if I have a internal gut health imbalance and I also have acne, is it even worth treating my skin topically? And the answer to that is yes. The way that I treat my clients here in the clinic is that I treat topically. So that is my specialty, is the skin, and understanding how the structure and function and the pathophysiology of skin disorders all function. So I tie that up with skincare and skin treatments, and then I also start to recommend internal solutions. So we're meeting it from the skin and inside, so you're getting that whole well-rounded approach. However, I will just say this now, if you're wanting to treat with skincare and skin treatments, you may find that you reach a bit of a plateau in your journey, and I've seen this time and time again here in my clinic, and this is why I always approach acne with a holistic view. I never just treat topically. I think a lot of my clients, when they come to see me, they are quite surprised. They're like, oh, this consultation is like a naturopathic consultation. Or they'll say, wow, it's not just skincare and skin treatments. You are talking about so much else. And this is why I do a lot of referrals outside of the clinic. So Pia Kynok is a great naturopath that I always rely on. But I do have other naturopaths and other health practitioners and resources online that I will tend to recommend for my clients. To summarize, you really do want to have an inside out approach. You want to be making sure to address the topical, so your actual skin, and you also want to be addressing from the inside out. And let me just tell you now, the clients that I have into the clinic who really do acknowledge that this is an inside out journey, they get the best results. And guess what? They go on to live such happy and healthy lives because they've not only embarked on a skin transformation journey, they've embarked on a health and healing journey, and that will pay you dividends in the long run. It will really make sure that you're not just surviving in this world, but you are thriving, and that is what you want. And I think that is one of the most special and beautiful things about a skin transformation journey. It really does spark up the need to start looking after ourselves from the inside out. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you are still confused about gut health and acne and how this is all related, please pop your questions down below. You might even inspire a new video topic. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really love spending this time with you, and at the end of the day, I am here to serve you. So let me know if you have any ideas, any questions, pop them below. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe and press the like button because it really does help my channel. Thank you so much, souls. I look forward to seeing you here next week.